12 assets that are making people rich. Warren Buffett once said, "Invest in as much in yourself as you can. You are your own biggest asset by far." Congratulations! Today you choose to invest in yourself by learning about the assets that are making people rich. Welcome, Joytimers! Stick to the end of the list to see which ones should you add to your possession. Let's take a quick look to a definition of assets, and then jump straight to the list. Assets are investments that are owned by an individual or business that generate income. These assets always hold a base value, but have the potential to generate a lot more in passive income. The reason why these are so appealing is that they don't take much work and can free up a person's time so they can work on other long-term projects to make themselves even more wealthy. Number 12. Digital products. Owning the rights to digital products is the closest thing to printing money. Unlike printing costs for books and CDs, digital products can be sold to as many people who want them, with very little in the way of expenses once the product is ready to be sent out. This is seen with ebooks, where people purchase the story for their smartphones, tablets, and Kindles, but only get the digital format. With there being no limit to the number of copies that can be sold through digital products like video games, music, books, and movies, holding on to digital assets until they are no longer popular is one of the easiest ways to generate wealth. With the advancement of plagiarism software, which is a commonplace on platforms like YouTube, those owning the digital product don't have to worry about someone else getting rich off their property. In fact, copyright claims on YouTube tend to redivert the profits to the actual owner. Number 11. Crowdfunded real estate. One of the most modern asset types is crowdfunded real estate. Until a couple of years ago, the only way to invest in real estate using a small investment pool was to go through real estate stocks or public real estate investment trusts. While this did see a return, the share price could fluctuate depending on the market activity. Now, with the help of modern technology, many people invest through crowdfunded real estate, which lets them invest in commercial real estate for smaller amounts of money. This allows people to earn an annual return of at least 5% on their investment, which is similar to annual stock market kickbacks, but without having to deal with all the volatile stock market landscape. Fundrise is a fantastic tool that invests in housing and commercial buildings across the U.S., which will see a healthy return based on what people put in. Ground Floor is another fantastic platform to get people started in crowdfunded real estate, which is different from other online real estate platforms. Those who invest in properties in U.S. cities will see a return on their investment after 12 to 18 months, which is around 10%. People who have spare money to invest in the program will see a modest return on the asset for very little work. Number 10. Stocks. Stocks may be an obvious entry in this list, with the rich making investments on different levels of risk to multiply their money if done strategically. Stocks are the buying and selling of shares in a company, with the transaction known as an exchange. Stocks come in several different types, with the most typical being common and preferred stocks. Common stocks reflects the ownership of a company, with those owning the higher percentage being able to be elected on the board of directors, which gives them voting power when it comes to making essential company decisions. This includes hiring, firing, and the direction of the business. Preferred stocks have a more significant claim to an asset and profit distribution, but don't have any say on the decisions and direction of the company. Obtaining stocks can be done in two ways. The first is to purchase them individually, but the buyer needs to be in a good financial position to do so. The other way, which is more common among the general public, is getting a broker to trade on your behalf. This way is more appealing to many as it has minimal risk and doesn't take much capital to invest. The rich use stocks to make more money from the money they already have, but it doesn't come without a strategy, impeccable research, trial, and error. Number 9. Bonds. Many people get stocks and bonds mixed up, believing them to be the same thing. The truth is, they are entirely different assets, but can be equally as valuable when done right. In simple terms, bonds are loans between investors and lenders, which will eventually be paid up over a period of time. Unlike stocks, they pay people out several times a year as long as they stay profitable. Bonds give periodic payments to an investor until the debt is paid entirely. Borrowers can be individuals, businesses, or even states. The most sought-after bonds are the U.S. Treasury bonds, as they are the most valuable and the safest to invest in. What also makes the Treasury bonds more appealing, compared to other bond options, is that they are less risky when it comes to the interest gained from owning the bond. Similar to stocks, there are two ways the rich acquire bonds. This is either by buying them individually or through bond funds. Those who buy individual bonds generate a considerable sum of interest, but once again, this takes a lot of capital to invest. Investors will gain interest through bond funds, but it's typically lower than individual bonds. Number 8. Real estate. Real estate is a fantastic asset for rich people and is a tried and tested way to generate profit and hold value. Real estate can be any properties related to buying land and can be broken down into 4 categories: general land, residential real estate, commercial real estate, and industrial real estate. These categories cover several types of real estate and include ranches, farms, parking lots, warehouses, power plants, stores, hotels, schools, and of course, homes. The most common ways people make money from real estate is by renting out their assets and earning a healthy fixed income from it. Another way rich people make a profit from real estate is by buying assets and flipping them for a much higher price after renovating or modernizing the asset first. Number 7. Owning a business. Buying or starting a business will not only provide a nice cash flow avenue, but will also give the owner an excellent asset that can be sold at a later date. Starting a business is easier said than done, however, with many crucial factors having to be implemented to make the company a success. This includes branding, overheads, profit margins, the popularity of the niche, and much, much more. A business is only a fantastic asset if it's valuable and not hemorrhaging money when it comes to outgoings. Businesses can be the greatest asset in someone's arsenal, but it can also be the most stressful if the right management strategy hasn't been implemented. Number 6. High-yield savings accounts. Another safe asset that wealthy people take advantage of is opening a high-yield savings account, which will push back profits through interest. These type of accounts are protected by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation and earn passive income with little to no work. They're also great for saving funds in case of an emergency or if a large investment opportunity comes up and the person needs instant funds. Unfortunately, the yield is much lower than that seen with stocks, but all the risk and time management are taken out of the equation. To find the very best high-yield savings account in your state, you should do your research. While it can be time-consuming at first, the reward could be up to 10 times more interest than standard bank accounts. Number 5. Patents and trademarks. Patents exist to protect inventions, innovations, and technology. Patents prevent other companies from stealing an idea or product and selling it as their own, which could be devastating when it comes to commercial profits. Trademarks, on the other hand, refer to the appearance of certain goods or properties. For example, company logos, brand names, slogans, and fonts can be protected, with those owning the trademark being able to sell usage of it. Trademarks can be registered in any country, but the process can differ from place to place. Number 4. Certificates of deposits, CDs. While savings accounts do offer cash generation through interest, this safe way of making money has meager returns. A bank certificate of deposit, also known as CDs, can offer a much larger yield with very low risk. The most effective CDs on the market usually require a deposit of $1,000 or more, which must stay in there for a minimum of a year. Trying to take the money out early will result in a penalty, so those who keep money in CDs are in it for the long haul. Number 3. Small business bonds. While most large corporations invest in large-scale businesses, many people set their sights on investing in smaller companies. This can be one of the most profitable assets for a short-term investment, as long as the business they are funding becomes a valuable one. These bonds can come in the form of worthy bonds, which offer 5% annual returns per bond. These bonds are fixed and there are no fees for selling the bonds before the 3-year maturity date, which could save the owner from a loss if the business shows any sign of default. Number 2. Investing in farmland. Owning farmland is one of the most valuable assets there is. Not only does the land retain its value, but while it's in the possession of the owner, it can be used to generate profit. Many wealthy people who own farmland hire farmers to run the business for them while bouncing back a healthy percentage of net profit to themselves. Oftentimes, the asset holder will simply rent out the land, achieving a fixed rate and not having to worry about managing the property in a business sense. Almonds, peanuts, corn, and soybeans are among the most popular commodities on the food market right now. Holding farmland assets like these can require higher investments and a longer investment commitment, but the payoff can be incredibly rewarding. Number 1. Influencer and social media brands. The rise of content creators has evolved into personal brands being worth millions. In fact, a couple of years ago, people could never have believed that making huge figures of money from being an influencer was even possible. Owning assets of an influencer's brand can be incredibly valuable to an investor who may have stepped in during the early days of their career. With the level of exposure some influencers reach, advertisers and other brands are often happy to pay considerable sums to feature within videos and social media posts. Those who own a share in the influencer brand will also see a return on these profits, depending on the detail of their contract. Social media and influencer platforms are still in their infancy, with plenty of money-making opportunities bound to open up in the future. Whether you're a millionaire or living from paycheck to paycheck, those looking to build their finances often turn to affordable assets that will work in the background and generate a nice profit. Subscribe to see more business and luxury lifestyle videos on Daily Joytime, and ring the notification bell so you will never miss out.